7-on-7 ended. We just wanted to extend that a little bit more.
Did any group especially grabbed your attention as a positive today?
I think it's always fun to see the trenches, the first day of pads. I think our defense line just did a phenomenal job, engaging, beating everyone to the punch. Really physical battle between both sides of the football. I thought both sides had some goods and some bads, and that's the beauty of this.
Do you feel like after just after one day, but do you feel like you got a better idea of kind of where you stand with the run game in terms of laying that foundation?
We'll see. There's still an installation process that we're still going through with all the rest of the next week, really. But I thought it was a great foundation. It was a great first day. Again, really physical battle, and that's what we'll need the rest of the way through training camp.
When you see some nice moments from a guy like Marcus Yarns, an undrafted free agent rookie coming in and trying to vie for a spot, what kind of stands out to you?
Yeah, just great opportunities, and anytime you take advantage of them, more opportunities to naturally present yourself. And so, I think we'll have a number of guys, have those moments throughout this camp.
Or the one-on-ones with the offensive and defensive line, they doubled up. Was that just to foster the competitiveness of it all? Or
I was down 7-on-7, so I didn't see how everything transpired over there. But obviously, we're just trying to get as many reps as we can, try and maximize our time with those guys. And so, we're going to go for that every time.
It's like for Jakes, he's gotten get a run in camp. What's kind of the vision for him?
Really solid player, edge player. We obviously liked him coming into the draft process. We're fortunate to get him late, in the 7th round. For him to still be available was really surprising for us and an awesome opportunity. So he's hopped in there. He's done a nice job.
Just on first look, did it appear that Carl Granderson had a good day?
Yes.
Talk about it, your impressions of him so far.
Yeah, I think our edge rushers, it's just a really good group, and certainly what those guys are doing. Grando's, leading the way in so many ways. His physicality and his play effort stands out each and every day, and so we keep trying to highlight him as much as we can in team meetings, because if he plays like that, special things are going to happen when everyone else starts playing that way. Now we're rolling.
Chase was saying how much he liked watching Khalil Mack. Does that make Granderson the Joey Bosa in this comparison?
I don't know. That's just a personal preference maybe for Chase, but those guys obviously we feel great about them.
Carl's spoken pretty openly.
Following up on JT Gray, can you say what the injury was or what?
Yeah, it's just a lower deal, and so they'll evaluate, they'll figure it out, and I'll update you tomorrow once we get the clear plan of action.
For Granderson, he's talked in press conferences and things like that before about trying to find more consistency. He's felt like he started hot and finished hot, but kind of stuff in between. What are some of the things that you all can do in this new system and with your new approaches to help him be able to achieve that?
Yeah, I think certainly he's going to be able to play with some air out there and some wider techniques, certainly more often probably than in the past, and that's just the way different schemes present different opportunities. And so him playing out in space is going to be huge, but at the same time he's still got to collapse the pocket, he's still got to close space in the run game, and that's all about physicality and effort. And so if he keeps doing this, keeps being consistent like this, he'll have a really special season.
Him playing out in space, is that something y'all almost had to go back to kind of college to find, or were you able to find that a little bit?
Yeah, no, there's certainly plenty of examples of that, and it's just when you're in a 3-4, there's a little bit more structure, a little bit, 3 bigger guys inside, so you're more in that contained criteria there when you're playing a little bit wider outside.
Obviously, Blackmon is someone who just got here, but how much have you seen him grow, maybe even in his understanding of the defense and the few days?
Yeah, Julian's been awesome. Really special to see a guy who just hops in here. Literally the first day he showed up, he's already in team, taking reps, taking advantage of opportunities. He had a nice pick here yesterday in the red zone, which was really more of a spectacular play than anything about the throw or the receiver. He just made a really spectacular play, and so obviously we feel fortunate that he was available this late in the process, and he'll be a big part of this thing.
Kellen, Devon Godchaux's power is hard to miss out there. When you guys switch to the scheme that Brandon wants to run, did you go through a list of potential nose tackles, or was there something special about him that was on your radar?
Yeah, certainly we went through just the discussion of what the criteria is by position and kind of detail that out. Felt like we do have some good guys here who are still in place that can play that role really, really well. Certainly Godchaux's one of the premier players in this league as far as playing one of those interior run-stopping spots. And so, we felt, we played New England. Every time you played New England, it felt like it was a battle to get anything going inside because of him. And so we were fortunate to get him.
Do you recall the conversation that he brought up during his introductory press conference between you and Brandon Staley and talking about?
I don't.
He said something about being in the trip to take on the Patriots, about y'all having a conversation about how, hey, we're not going to be able to run with you in the middle or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Talked every day about the emphasis on recovery and injury prevention. With Christian Rashid specifically coming off of injury, we've seen them with the 2s and 3s at times. What's the plan for those guys?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing this early in the training camp process is just trying to rotate these guys as much as we can and get different guys different opportunities. And so, maybe a little bit different than some places like, you know, Sheed and, you know, CO. They're going to maybe take a rep with a 2 or a 3 group. Doesn't mean anything for anyone. We're just rotating these guys as much as we can, give them different opportunities, and as it progresses, you narrow your focus a little bit more, but it's been good.
Seemed like we saw the ball on the ground a decent bit today, some punch outs. Is that something where you focus on it with the offense, or you applaud the defense? Like, how do you?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's always one's good, one's bad. You get to, you know, play in the middle of those two things, and so defense did a phenomenal job. You know, a couple of them are kind of late in the process, which is, you know, good training for the defense, but also the offensive ball carriers. Even as you're, you know, late in the process in the pile, it takes that second, third man in to come in and take a shot at the ball.
In running the same drills, it appears Tyler Shuck sort of lets it rip less than the other guys do, that he's pulled it down more, checked down more. Do you find that, and has the way he's progressed been okay? Is risk averse okay at this point?
No, I think Tyler's done a nice job. He's communicating at a really high level. He's making good decisions. You know, as we go through, we'll just continue to evaluate each and every day. These guys will grow every day, and every opportunity, especially for Tyler, being his first time rookie year training camp. Every day there's new install, new material that maybe is a first time for him, and so he's going through that process. I think he's done an excellent job.
Kellen, with more happening like outside of the pocket and people wanting like quarterbacks to extend plays, like has the way time to throw, like is the evaluation of that changed like over the years as the game has evolved?
Yeah, certainly there is some extended plays that happen. You know, certainly in Philly, like Jalen was going to extend a lot of plays, and so technically that number is always going to be high, no matter what you did in Philly, just because he had that ability, and he made some big time plays off schedule, and so yeah, it's something to always keep an eye on.
When you're looking at like 7-on-7, shouldn't the ball always come out considering there's no pass rush and not scrambling around?
We'll see. Obviously, we'd love to be on time and all that good stuff. You know, a couple of those defense did a nice job, and we do really encourage the scramble drill just because it comes up so much in our league. You know, it's kind of something that, you know, Mike brought from Green Bay when I was in Dallas. Just, you know, Aaron, you know, you're playing in scramble drill so many times, 30% of every play, and so that is the second part of a play, and we really emphasize that is a live action. We are trying to make an explosive play on offense, and our defense has to plaster, is what we call it, and really match everyone out. And so it is an important part of still 7-on-7.
When you have an offensive line that, I mean, in some cases maybe a new player, in other cases a player in a new position, when they first start to do real blocking, what is your expectation of what you're going to see, and how did that compare to what you saw?
Yeah. It's first day pass. Everyone's going to have some good, some that they want to improve on or get back, and you know, I thought our guys did a nice job. It's every day, the pad level, the physicality, the finish, all those things are just going to keep going, and so it's a good start, but we know we're nowhere close to where we need to be.
With tempo, is it harder to run it when you're behind, outside like the obvious 2-minute you're chasing, like to come back?
To use tempo?
Yeah.
Certainly, if you're in the flow and you're progressing positively, it's naturally a lot easier to, you know, stay within a no-huddle system. If you get, you know, stalled out or pushed back, it's a little bit more tricky. Part of the tempo challenge is you don't want to just go 3 and out and be on the field for 30 seconds and your defense is back on the field. That's not ideal for anyone. So there's ebbs and flows to it.
Yeah, how do you decide, like, kind of when, is it just like a feel thing, or?
Yeah, we'll define it going into a game. Sometimes it's by drive, or sometimes it's by situation. Once you've earned a first down or you get into a certain territory of the field, you may activate no huddle, and guys can kind of anticipate when that's coming.
When you're baking downtime into the schedule, is that specifically that you want players to use that time for recovery? And have you been encouraged by players?
Yeah, the number one objective obviously is the recovery component of it. We have the coolers out here, which our guys can hop into. Hydration, towels, all the good stuff. Our training group and sports performance do an awesome job just getting these guys ready to roll there. And then the other part is just there are TV timeouts in games, and it's real. And so there is a component you have to train your body to sit there for 2 or 3, 4 minutes, kind of, you know, bring it back down, and you got to bring yourself back up for the next period. And so it is creating a game-like environment as well.
Even in the schedule though.
How do you evaluate Spencer and Jake? I know you talked about Shuck, but considering they've had game time reps.
Yeah, those guys have done a nice job. You know, Spencer's really decisive, plays confident. He gets the ball out. He's done a nice job, and Jake's done a lot of the same stuff. I think these guys, you know, they've played a little bit more football over the last couple of years, and so their experience obviously they can lean on, and you know, they're doing a nice job.
Even in the downtime of, like, Eric was saying yesterday that they had you guys had a break until 1:30, and he was trying to take advantage like that. Kind of asking what Luke did, like that's kind of the goal is for players to take advantage of.
Yeah, there'll be a break within the day naturally. You know, our next thing is at 1:30 during the day where we'll review practice, and so this gives everyone a chance to go through the recovery process, go through lunch, do everything they can, create their own routines, and then we'll be back at it for the afternoon. All good? Okay, sweet. Thanks, guys.
See you tomorrow. Yeah, I know.
Thanks, Kellen.
Oh. Yeah, where's her card at? You did, Kel? We are expecting Julian Blackmon, Cesar Ruiz, Carl Granderson, and Brandon Cooks for anyone watching on the live streams.
I mean, it's a tough choice, really. It's the only one with any Oh, you didn't see my text. You were
Okay. Well, we know that. I sound like an unknown.
He doesn't.
They got a tie. They got a tie.
has a tie. He's the only one on
Matt
staff.
Flynn came in for him. Turned the loss
Yeah,
into
he got benched at halftime because he was down 21-7. And Matt Flynn came in and turned it into a tie. So that's the only tie. It's the only half win on our staff.
I brought it up to put it on the radio. Yeah, I remember Chase asking.
Yeah, the audience is at home watching on a live stream. Need to see my flex.
You think that's what people need to see?
Probably not, but
You
I'll
call that the West Bank flex?
West Bank. I don't know how 40% of my phone. It's unreal. I don't
Here we
know.
go. Here we go, everybody. Or maybe not yet.
He's finishing up his
He's enjoying his snowball.
Oh no, you can enjoy your snowball.
Enjoying his snowball.
My first one.
How you guys doing?
How is it?
It's fire. I'm like, shoot, I needed this.
What flavor is that?
It's sour apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
That's the first one.
I mean, here.
There you go.
We call them snow cones where I'm from.
It's
Yeah,
not
we
the
don't
same
say
thing.
that,
Yeah, that's what I know. The
Oh,
first time I
yeah.
said that, they said, who? I was like, oh, my bad.
You won't chip a tooth on me.
Yeah.
It's a different ice machine.
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
It's like you're eating ice. For
Yeah.
real.
How's it been since you've been here? I mean, how you feel comfortable here?
I feel very comfortable. The guys are great. The coaches are great. So it's really easy to just find my way. You got good leaders here. So it's been fun, man. I really enjoy being here. I haven't been here long, but so far it's very welcoming.
Defense close to what you've done before?
It is a lot similar, but at the same time, you got little caveats that I'm not used to. So just getting more of the verbiage down. After that, it's not too difficult, but it's still something that, there's always something that I'm learning.
How did this come about, coming to New Orleans? And I'm guessing you were waiting for the right opportunity?
Yeah, I had conversations with them throughout the whole off season, just talking to the guys, going through physicals, and like you said, I was just kind of waiting for the best opportunity, and this one presented itself as the best to me. I'm really close to Coach Staley, so since I came out of the draft, I had been talking to Staley, when he was with the Rams, and then he went to San Fran last year, talked to him there, and then this year he was like, "You're back again." Like, I've been trying to get you, so it's good to work with. It's good to work with him.
Is he? The reason you wanted to come here? Was there something about this defense, or was he it? Like once he,
A little
I
bit
don't
of
mind playing for that
a
guy.
little bit of both. I really love his energy. I really love what he has to offer. I really love the defense. I love the guys that are here. There's a lot of opportunity on the defensive side, so it just felt like the best fit for me.
After the interception yesterday, he had shouted, I've been waiting 5 years.
Been waiting 5 years. I said, Coach, this is for you.
What does that feel like from your perspective?
I mean, it feels good to be valued. You always feel good when you're wanted somewhere, and to be able to play for a guy that's been wanting me, it feels great because every mistake that I have, he's like, you're fine. This is what I see you doing. He's very communicative, so it's really easy to just keep going and moving forward, knowing that he has my back.
You played every
guy like Tyron.
Huh?
I said, what's it like just
I mean, I wouldn't call it replacing. Tyron, he's a Hall of Famer. I wouldn't call it replacing him. I think that it's just holding the standard that he left here. So, doing the best that I can to uphold that standard that he held is what I'm here for.
Julian, with the 5-year comment, I assume that means he conveyed you at some point he was hoping to draft you, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, through the whole draft process in 2020, he was like, listen, we're picking you up. We're so excited with our pick in the 3rd round. We're going to get you. And then I think it was like 2 picks before they had him. I had Indianapolis pick me up, and he was like, Burgess. And so Terrell's here as well. But
That's funny.
So yeah, we've been talking ever since.
And then you were a free agent once before. Were there any?
I was last year.
He was kind of in transition, but did you talk to San Francisco at all last year?
I did last year, and he was another guy that he's always been very honest, Coach Staley, and he was just telling me my situation, what I should be looking for, what my best interests should be, and I went back to Indy, and then free agent again, and he was like, I'm gonna tell you again what your best interest should be, and so I heard him, and I just really appreciated that.
When you say that you've been talking for a while, what prevented it from happening? They upped their number recently, or you liked the opportunity when Tyron retired? Or?
This year?
Yeah. What finally made the deal happen?
Honestly, it was something that we were pushing towards before the retirement. It was just something that I felt comfortable doing, and then that just so happened to happen. So it wasn't like we were waiting on Tyron's decision. It was more of like, I know the guys around me, and even if Tyron was here, it'd be great to learn from him. So it was one of those things.
What is your strength? You feel like it's your strength. You played all along in secondary, correct? Nichols, corner, everything else. What is your strength?
I would say taking the ball away, zone defense, communication. I'm really good at understanding route concepts, just being able to know where a quarterback's going to go, where my weaknesses are, who needs help when. So it's kind of one of those things where, because I've played every position, it's easier for me to communicate with guys what I'm seeing, because I'm more of like a free safety, so being able to see the whole field and tell guys what I'm diagnosing helps them.
Tyron has been complimentary of you since you've been here. Have you talked to him by chance?
Who was that?
Tyron.
I haven't talked to him at all, which I probably should, honestly. Just reach out to him, see, and learn from him, because obviously he's one of those guys that play the game very well for a long time, so I have not talked to him yet.
Hey, Joseph and Kellen have been, praising how you just hopped in, you're understanding everything, you just kind of got the ball rolling. Can you just speak to how important it was to get the ball rolling, being in training camp?
Just watching film, going over the game plan like multiple times, making sure that I understand what calls are what, because when you come from a different team, you might have the same calls, but they might be called differently. So just being able to get the verbiage down was pretty much it for me, and then being able to go from there was fine.
What stands out about the way that Staley likes to use the safety?
I mean, it's very visionary, and quarterbacks don't like that. So being able to play very visionary means turnovers, and turnovers are what we're here for. So being able to get the ball back to the offense is the most important, and this defense, it's very opportunistic.
How about the pre-snap movement that you guys disguises, all that?
I mean, that's just the game that we play. I mean, when you get to the NFL, it's all chess. You know what I'm saying? Like, who goes where, who's looking at what formation's what, and so it's not really one of those things that's like you're thinking about all the time, but it just makes sense to do.
How do you think I know it's only been a couple days, how do you think you pair with Justin Reed?
I love that guy.
Yeah.
I love him. I love what he brings to the table. He's an enforcer. He's an aggressive player. Being able to have a guy to rely on like that is honestly nice to me. He's like a safety blanket. So compliments me well, and he's also very communicative as well. So, I mean, the first day I got here, he started telling me, hey, this is what I'm looking at. You should look at this. This is when I'm stressed, and just trying to help me out with the verbiage and just getting a better understanding of that.
How was the shoulder, and what made you want to play through that last year?
Well, you know what, the Colts actually, they asked me to. And not only that, it was my teammates. I wanted to play for them. So I decided to play through it, and it was hard. It wasn't my best year, but I'm healthy now. I got cleared, and I feel great. So I'm excited for this year.
Was that maybe part of the delay of you visit back in May or June, or when did you?
Yeah, I think it was early May. I mean, not really. They weren't really worried about the shoulder. It was more of just getting it cleared, and you know, they were trying to get through OTAs. They didn't want to really get into anything until after, so that they could have a better thought process going into it.
When, as a free agent trying to choose an opportunity, do you ever factor in like holistic things like how the team did last year, whether or not they have a new staff, what's expected of them, you know, or do you just kind of look at it as where do I fit and it's just my career and that's all I'm looking at?
I mean, listen, when it comes to defense, I can't really control what happens on offense, so I can't be like, hey, if I come in, what's the offense look like? I can only control how I affect the defense. And so here I just felt like they have a great defense and they have a spot open, and I feel like I can fill that spot. And, you know, honestly, the culture here is, I mean, it's built on winning culture. I mean, the Saints, they're known for winning, and so we want to bring that back, and I feel like I can help do that.
You said earlier that Staley encouraged the best thing for you. When he was in San Francisco, was it to come to San Francisco, or did he recommend going back to?
Man, not necessarily. He just kind of told me I need to weigh my options, like what I should be looking for, who's in front of me, as in like front seven, like can I play free safety, can I play what I'm great at, and then from there it's like you make the decision. And for me, it was, you know, going into year 5, I felt very comfortable going back to the Colts. I knew everything about the defense. I was there for 5 years, so I played every position, so it just seemed like something that it was easier to make a decision to do.
And was his level of pre-draft interest, like, I don't know if they technically, promised you, you know, you get sometimes a draft promise, were other teams doing that as well, or did the Rams kind of?
Yeah, I had a couple, but Staley was, like, my main guy, you know. I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it, man.
The snowball's better once it melts some too.
No, that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Guys, we'll do Brandon at this podium and Caesar at the other.
What's up? What's up? Good, good.
Last time you were here?
Well, last time I was here, we was at the Greenbrier, so I didn't get to experience the camp in New Orleans, but I'm thankful for it because obviously it's an edge, you know what I mean? So.
Since he's still fresh on our mind, you used to be in the same division with Julian. What's your scouting report on him?
I mean, a playmaker, you know what I mean? Fly around, scanning the field and making plays, and I think you've seen that, so far coming out here at practice.
Your review of the quarterbacks so far.
Yeah.
If you want to break them down individually, but how have you felt they've done so?
I mean, I think first and foremost, they're handling the competition really well. They're going out there, controlling what they can control, not worrying about everything else. Who goes first one day, who goes first the next. So right there, you're showing each one of your quarterbacks is professional about the situation. They grinding, they're willing to push each other, but also help each other out. And I think that's very mature for a bunch of young guys.
The catch you had with Tyler today, some people wondering you kind of streaking across, what worked well there? Was there a level of patience involved for him?
I mean, I think there's patience. I think there's trust, obviously, from an offensive line, being able to gear down, give him in a clean pocket, and you got our opposite receiver that's, taking the top off. A bunch of selfless play, on that play, and at the end of the day, he made a great throw. And then, that's what we're out there to do is make plays, and so you've seen that from everybody.
Don't think we would have picked you to have the first fight of camp, but what was your kind of reaction?
I don't get it twisted now. But no, I think at the end of the day, you just, it's competition. Once you go in between those lines, ain't no friends. I think that breeds the best out of one another. Once you get outside those white lines, it's a family, it's a brotherhood. But inside, I mean, everybody doubting us, and so that's the type of fire that we got to come out here in camp in this heat, being ready to compete and push each other to the limits.
Organizing, the guys to come out, is that something that's been an evolution of your career in recent years, or something you recognized because it's young quarterbacks on this team?
No, I've been fortunate enough to be in a position to be able to do that, in my recent years and earlier. I think it's important anytime you can get together outside of the building. Obviously, it's mandatory to be together inside the building, but when you can show that brotherhood, that camaraderie outside the building, I think that shows that you care about one another. So when you go out there on the field, you know each other's why. You spend that time together in the off season, and you know you build that connection. I think that's where great teams are formed outside the building.
You just hit on it, but anything stand out from those trips? Whether it was like a certain meal or just throwing out there, like what kind of about that camaraderie stood out to you?
I think the biggest thing that stood out was just the willingness to come out. Obviously, you know, it was in Oregon, a lot of guys out south on the East Coast and whatnot, but showing that willingness to come out and spend those couple of days with one another, you know, so close to camp, you know, shows the willingness to get better and spend time with one another.
How long did y'all spend up in Oregon training?
We're there 3 days. Yeah, it was at Nike, the headquarters. That's the beauty of being there in Oregon. Nike's in your backyard. So, you know, they show great hospitality. Got on the lake and whatnot, showed them boys what Pacific Northwest all about. So, yeah, it was about 3 days.
This group, you and Chris and Rashid, that's a group that can run. Have you been in a group, you know, maybe that fast overall, you know,
I mean, yeah, you named 3 people, but I mean, guys, this whole room can run. And so being a part of, you know, Tip and all those guys, Kev, every single guy in this room can run. And to be able to say I've been a part of a group that run like this, that's going to be hard to come by because them guys are rolling. But it's definitely fun because that shows everybody can be at a different position. You never know, you know, which one guy's going to do. So, and that's all of us.
What has struck you about Rashid Shaheed?
It's a loaded question because it seems like he's doing everything well. But I think the work ethic that, you know, coming off the injury from last year, seeing what he's built over the offseason, the muscle that he put on, and still being able to run at that high level is very impressive.
I mean, look, the NFL, there's a lot of you guys who can run.
Yeah.
Right? But he almost seems like one of those guys that even among NFL guys, he can run.
He can run, and he can run routes. And I think that's one thing, you know, people will leave out, like, no question. He can take the top off, but he's running some of the best routes out there as well. And so when you got that combination, you're looking like a deadly weapon.
Both he and Chris are fairly, I mean, significantly younger than you. Have you, like, tried to give them as much wisdom as you can right now?
Not that much younger.
Well.
But no, I mean, no. On the serious note, I think at the end of the day, you know, I can only bestow upon them, you know, what I've learned over my years. The great thing is they're special at football. They know what they're doing at a high level. But if I can just give them 1% on how to take care of their body, how to go about the game professionally, you know, I've done my job because there's nothing I'm going to add to their game on the field that they're not already doing. But off the field, you know, I think that's my position as well, to be able to lead in that aspect, not only just make plays, but continue to build the guys up around me.
Rashid said that he went to you about, like, adding weight but still being as fast. What did you tell him? Like, what was kind of the advice there?
I think the biggest thing is when you add that, at the same time, you know, never getting away from your track background. And obviously, as you know, his track background is lengthy. His 2 sisters, obviously, one state in California. His dad been coaching him in track forever. So while you're putting on that weight, also still being technical about your track background and doing those drills throughout the offseason. You've seen that show up.
Brandon, I'm sure you're aware of, like, Chris's injury history and what he went through the last year or so. Can you empathize with him going back out there, and you had conversations with him about the mindset that he's having to take going into this year?
You know, unfortunately, I've been through that early on in my career, back-to-back years, multiple, right? But I think, you know, once again, this is what I talked about, you know, off the field, how I can help him. Some of those things that you can do to be able to hone in, you know, cognitively. And I think he's picking up on that. But at the end of the day, going out there playing fearless is going to be the most important thing. The more you think about it, obviously, that's when things show up. And I think he's doing that already in practice. You know, he's not talking about it. And obviously, at the end of the day, it's all about the game. But I think he's going to be well prepared. He got a great grasp on it.
When you went through that yourself, was there a part of you that wanted to get a big hit out of the way, or is that you don't want to get hit?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get no big hit, but you know, if it comes, you like, you know, it comes with the game, and so instead of having that anxiety about it, whatever the case may be, just knowing, you know, accepting that it's gonna come with the game, and then everything else to kind of, you know, take care of itself.
Is it important to get down to some degree? I mean, is that?
I mean, it depends on what the situation is. You know what I mean? You know your game. You know what you're trying to pick up. It's 4th and 1. You got to go do what you got to do. It's 1st and 10. You know, kind of knowing what your game is about, knowing how many people are around you, and knowing when to fight and not to fight. And that's becoming, you know, a smarter player as well. but you're not really thinking about that until you're in the moment.
Did it take you a little bit to not think about it, like, or after?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said it didn't, but you know, kind of a repetitive thing going out there. You know, my faith is my foundation, and just honing in on that, you know, not having that anxiety, you know, casting my cares on Him, and the peace, you know, which transcends all understanding. So I'll repeat that, you know, to myself, you know, going out game by game, and then from there, you know, that's out of my control. You know.
Going back to the speed of the room, you mentioned maybe it's tipped in or maybe it's someone else. Like, you know, we know Olave and you are like fast. Was there someone whose speed took you by surprise at all, or anyone you didn't realize like had that in them?
I mean, you talk about Kev. Yeah, I mean, you know, don't get it twisted. Said gonna open up that stride too. Okay. You know, DP, Bubs. I mean, everybody. I really mean that. I'm not just saying that because they're my teammates, but there's always spurts out here when they get put in that position to be able to take the top off, and you're like, okay, you know, he can roll too. So that's the beauty about the room.
Brandon, with all the different offenses you've run, now with Coach Moore, as far as opportunities, the yak yards after the catch. Have y'all talked about that as receiving group?
Yeah, that's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. You obviously look at the places that he's been, the guys that had success with the yak and his offenses. Obviously, that's leaned upon. It's going to be important, and the only way you do that is if you practice it. And when you practice it, you know, it turns over to the game.
One more on the concussions. Sorry to bring that up again.
It was about 6-7 years ago, so I'm kind of behind that.
Right, and that's why I wanted to ask you. Do you think that those kind of injuries have more to do with kind of just luck than with technique or situational awareness then?
That's a great question. I mean, there's so many different types, right? I think it also can go into, you know, mentally, you know, how you approach and how you going about your game. Like you said, it can be just one of those situations that you cannot control. But I think that's a deep question because there's so much that goes around it. Yeah.
And then on the Oregon thing, just obviously you have a lot of experience with that place. Was there anything, you know, in terms of team bonding off the field that you love about Oregon that you wanted to share with the guys while they were there, such as a place with a nice mountain or ocean view?
Yeah, no, just getting outdoors. Obviously, I truly believe in the Northwest there's no better place in the summer. And so getting out on the lakes, you know, some guys was water skiing, swimming out in the lakes, going out on hikes, things that, you know, some of them city boys probably, you know, not used to, but just showing them a different side of life that, you know, like I said, the Northwest, no one thinks of it as a place to visit, but in the summer, I think it is.
So anyone that was definitely not an outdoors person?
No, I think everybody was willing. I think for a minute there, you know, a couple of guys didn't want to jump in the lake, get their hair messed up, but it was one of those things like you ain't got no choice. But for the most part, everybody, you know, took part in something that they probably, you know, wasn't used to doing.
When you put that together, did you approach Tyler about doing that? Like, was there
each group? I mean,
was there one coordinator?
Yeah, like every person that's kind of, you know, coordinates their group and kind of came together and, you know, organized the dates, and then quarterback organized what routes he was going to run and whatnot. And then it was kind of a collective effort.
Brandon, so I don't want it to be a comparison. So if you don't mind going through each of the three quarterbacks, what's something that you've liked and appreciated about Tyler, Spencer, and Jake now that you've gotten time to work with them?
I think from Tyler's standpoint, just coming here, you know, ready to compete and not worrying about all the outside noise, not worrying about if he makes a mistake or whatever case may be, playing fast. You think, you know, from Spence's standpoint, I think taking that extra step from the opportunities he got last year, showing his leadership capability throughout practice, and then Jake, you know, not having much OTAs coming out here, just you know, slinging it, and you know, same type of mindset, just not worrying about anything else, just playing his game. And so all together, what's similar, in my opinion, is their mind is right and they're approaching the situation at a high level.
Now you talk about the outside noise. What do you say to like the people who think of this? They talk about the size of the receivers in this room and everything. Does that put a chip on y'all shoulder?
I mean, I'm 5'9", I'm still here. You know what I mean? And so I think it's just at the end of the day, just play your game. Play your game. I mean, some of the best receivers is under that 6 foot that played this game. You know, people gonna talk. Everybody gonna have an opinion. But we gotta be able to prove ourselves right. It's not necessarily proving whomever wrong. It's proving yourself right that you're gonna play this game at a high level. And I think all of us is showing that throughout training camp. But obviously, you know, it don't mean nothing until we do it in the game.
Brandon, I know you go way back with Keith. Yeah, how has this experience been finally?
It's been great. It's been awesome. You know, he's gonna coach you tough. He's gonna bring the best out of you. He's gonna set that standard so high for each and every one of us. And so it's definitely been a blessing finally being able to play with him.
Has he given you a nickname yet?
Nah, no nickname.
Hey, Brandon's the president. Cam Jordan's still here.
My only teammate that was here when I was here, so which is impressive, and still flying around, still goofy, still silly, still everything, and so it's definitely cool to see.
So you see more familiar faces in the media than you do in the locker room?
More in the media than in the locker room, absolutely, literally. I think there's just one player that that I played when I was here. And that's
Do you have
Cam.
a go-to hike that you like, that you wanted to take the guys on? Is it a certain mountain or anything like that, or just?
Obviously, Columbia Gorge, obviously. Monoman Falls is obviously the go-to hike that you want to do out there for sure.
I've never been, so I want to know in case I go.
Yeah.
What about the lake? Which lake did you
We just did Lake Oswego.
You drove the boat during water skiing.
Not me. Not a player.
Not a player.
A friend with a boat.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Good. Well, you don't want to have
No. I got my SpongeBob license though. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, y'all have a good one. Good seeing y'all.
I know, Kendall. Thank you for throwing me under the bus. I got it. I wasn't throwing you under the bus. I was trying to make sure my other job was getting done. Yes, our other job. You can't tweet. You have to go outside and tweet it. Because you can't tweet. For some reason. I just told him to double check. I tried to listen to make sure my other job was done. Let's go. And they're probably going to have like a bunch of commercials. Listen to Cam's.
Guess so.
Is it all one song? Just give me a couple lines. Hey,
we'll wait till next week.
don't ever get me. I don't know. I'm usually asking Jeff and other guys.
Well, we'll get Ms. Duncan here.
Yeah,
She'll
Kendall.
do outstanding.
Yeah, she's way better than Dick. She's more fiery. I am more fiery.
What's your are you still
On TV?
just on TV?
Still waiting for Carl Granderson.
Hey, Doug. He's going through a test period.
Carmen's on the team last name. You know how to buy you.
I would argue.
Tell her, Bobby, next time you see her.
If she was on TV, then I would understand. Keeping it over show, but people like people associate now. Yeah, no, so that's why.
Which side was that?
Not you.
Yeah, exactly. Too far people like Ms. Duncan. Hey,
Right, it does fit.
Like I said, I'm changing it. Like I'm doing everything. Right. I want to get like, I mean, going back. Like I want to do like all the other things.
Yeah. It's like you look at this was yeah, it's like nothing. And then like John Wayne had that him in the first name. What is that? Come on. What was John? No, it was
his real name.
It was no. It's John, famous John Wayne. What's his real name? That was his movie star name. No, it's like Francis or something. Marion. So yeah, John Wayne.
Saints had that quarterback, Bobby
Yeah, John
Herbert,
Wayne.
who switched it to Bobby Abear.
Yeah, Marion.
Where did John Wayne come from? It's like the wrestlers. They don't use their real name. Yeah.
People who work with like in Hattiesburg, like they just made up their last names. They weren't real.
I was just joking when you were talking. I said, since you said we're going to Bobby Kerber, the change should be pleased with him. But I did used to joke that I should switch it to Triple O so people can.
Oh shit.
Snapchat?
What?
Hey, we got one more. Carl Granderson.
Just, well, I could just put the E in
Before anybody leaves, you can also get snow cones out there. On your way out, you guys can all get snow cones if you want. Cool.
Thank you. Rivera.
Sounds pretty exotic.
People did think we were.
That's his entire.
Yeah.
This is Bobby Ebert. That's unbelievable. I like that Bobby. Unbelievable. That's awesome. That needed to be the ad campaign. That's a promo right there. It's for the food, not because of the celebrity worship. Clearly. And he goes, oh, you Bobby Ebert. Nick still does it when he types up his script.
we were surviving that, we might.
Oh my.
Carl's not going to get his 3-hour recovery break after practice.
Last time I talked to him at camp,
I remember that.
But that's why he feels this way.
I'm gonna be at my desk watching the stream. That way I can get ahead and make sure I'm good.
Yeah, you did, man. You just went straight to tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thought of that.
I don't believe you.
Yeah. He's not sorry.
No.
Your face doesn't say, I know your face when you're sorry. You're not sorry.
No, I get that. I get what
You're starting to get more
the
sorry
last
now.
thing, yeah, I know. The last thing I ever want to be is removed. So there is a baseline of sorry. There is a baseline.
There's no way you're right.
Like I'm being rude in my state. No way. Worst thing rude is probably lower than I'm I am always. I did. I mean, even like I would say even especially.
Man, when the robots take over, man, Alex gonna be like, you know what? I remember his voice. He was straight.
I'd rather kill the rest of them. I'd rather be subservient. He could be a pet. Kill the rest of them. Be a nice pet.
Hey Seth, can you ever have Seth shoot this so I can go back and just
Start getting it in? Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Ain't wasting time here.
100%. That's a great idea, Adam. I like your model of efficiency. Get two things done at once. That's
Long
great.
text, for sure. All right, fellas.
That's very Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore.
What's up, bro?
Yeah. How you feeling?
Rolling. All right. Well, thank you for having me. I'm Carl Granderson, everybody. I want to give a shout out to my teammates, offense and defense, because we out there in the heat and we're working hard. So let's go.
All right, is it a generic expression to say people like you love when the pads come on, or is that true?
I love every day. Obviously, it'll be a lot of talk throughout the week before we get the pads and jersey. Everybody want to wait till we get the pads on. We get the pads on. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. But it don't matter to me. I'm trying to hit something regardless. So we have the pads on today, and we're just flying around hitting people.
How'd you feel like the kind of day you had? Kellen Moore praised your day. What kind of day did you feel like you had?
Obviously, you can't have the best day, so I feel like I had a solid day. I'm trying to get better each day. I was flying around trying to hit. What else? Yeah, so I had an okay day. I got to watch the film, see what I could get better at, pass rushes, and look at my angles and go from there.
Carl, you said before that you really wanted to add, make sure that you had consistency in your game and things like that. With the recent changes, especially the defensive scheme, like how close do you feel to being able to do that? How does it help you, this new kind of approach that you can
Yeah, I mean, it helped me a lot. Just, in high school, I was the outside linebacker, so I'm pretty much doing the same thing, flying around the field. So I dropped down a few pounds and back at 270 now, and I feel good. I feel explosive. I feel quicker getting off the ball. So, yeah, this system is designed for us to make plays, the whole D-line. Shout out to them as well. And we're going to play as a group and get after it.
Is 270 where you want to be? Or
Yeah. It ain't nothing. I'm a professional. I go up and down. I started off, y'all know the story. It started off at like 250 and then got up 260, 270, 285. I was 289 one time. So I'm back down, slim and trim like a bicycle rim. I got a six-pack now, and yeah, I'm just flying around.
Are you playing wider now, or do you expect to play wider in this defense?
Nah, it's not wider. Just put yourself in the best position to get off the ball. Yeah, so.
When you talk about like the wide nine, like alignment and everything, Chase kind of talked about that yesterday and about how that kind of elevates what y'all are able to do. You feel like that supports what your skill set is as well?
I feel like it just depends on you. You got to know the system. The better you know the defense and the plays and your assignment, the better you're going to be. So just a wide nine, we played a wide nine before, and to get off the ball. So that's our job now, just to get off set edges and play fast.
This is saying also how you watch like a lot of Khalil Mack in the system. Did you watch Joey Bosa being the other guys? Or did you also watch Mack?
Yeah. So we obviously are Staley been around. He coached a few guys, and then you got Rodgers who coached a few guys as well. Bradley Chubb and all them guys. So we watching a lot of film on how they play the defense and run and how they get after the passes. So I like watching guys. So even what's his name, boy from the Raiders, Max Crosby. He the same way. So I like just watching them and learning and get out there on the field and trying it.
You mentioned Jay. Does having a specific edges coach elevate anything for you as opposed to having a defensive line coach and trying to communicate with both interior and exterior?
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like the room is more quiet now. we ain't all together, so we just got all the edge setter in one room and then the D-line in their room. So, but we still come together. At the end of the day, we still come together because we got to play as a team. So that's good. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
You guys still have Cam, so it's the other room that's a lot quieter.
Yeah, nice.
How do you describe Chase Young, what he does well, and your relationship, the two of you?
Yeah, I mean, Chase, man, just from when he first came in to now, it's like night and day. He's learning. He's playing way faster now. He's getting after it. He's healthy now, coming off a neck injury the previous year. So me on the other side and Chase on the other side, man, it's going to be special. But like I said, it don't matter what we do unless the interior play good up front. So we got to come together as a team. Chase, Cam, you got Shep, you got Bink, everybody. We just got to come and play as a whole.
Cam talked about y'all being separated just some weeks back. Not with ends, but what has that been like? Kind of locking in differently.
What, like being separated?
Yeah.
I mean, it just we got different assignments, so everybody want to put specific on certain positions. So it's been cool, but like I said, we still come together as one at the end of the day. So.
What do you think of the addition of Devon Godchaux?
That is me.
Devon Godchaux. What do you like about it?
Who?
Devon Gotcha.
Oh, D tackle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, he's strong. Y'all seen him one-on-ones today. He got off. He got off on the center and pushed him all the way in the backfield. But he's strong. He's a bad player. I think he's been around for 9 years. So yeah, he's bringing the juice and he's setting it up, setting the tone up in the front.
So much is made of just sack production and pass rushing in the NFL. Chase came up here and talked about the expectations for the run defense. Do you feel like that's going to be a strength?
Oh yeah, that's our key right now. It all start off with mentality, and like I said, the D line up front. So we don't want the linebackers to make no plays. We want to make all the plays up front, stop them for 2 yards or less. So yeah, that's pretty much the mentality, is just to crush and kill everything.
I know you don't want to give credit to the offensive line, but can you tell that year 2 bump for Collie Fogg at all in any ways?
Yeah, man, I be going against him. I go against Banks as well. But the whole O-line is playing much faster. They flying around. They don't got to think as much, and they getting after it. So I love the competition. It's different play style, and they getting off the ball, getting off the rock, and even the tight ends, man, they've been coming with it as well. So I'm up for the challenge. That's only gonna make us better when the season comes.
Does Flocka seem more comfortable on the right side, like all the experience of Vaughn and stuff?
He seemed more comfortable to me going against him from being on the other side, but he seemed more comfortable. But I think he said he played on the right side back in the day as well, so I guess he's back at home too.
Given the emphasis on defense this offseason, were you kind of eager to see how this first day in Cavs would go, how well you guys were adapting to this team and everything, and how did it compare to your expectations?
Yeah, man, I'm always eager to see how it goes, but we can't look at it right now. We got to look, prepare for week 1 of the preseason. So that's what we're practicing for now. But I'm always ready for when the pass come on to hit somebody. This is the only sport you could get after it and hit somebody without getting in trouble. So, so that's what we did today. Day 1 with the pads on, flying around, being aggressive, being physical, and we got to get right back to it the next day.
I know it's only been 1 day of pads, but how impressed have you been with Kelvin Banks, especially like going against him in front?
Yeah, I've been from it's night and day. Like I said, from OTAs, he was still learning, trying to figure it out. But now he's getting more comfortable. He's working on his sets. His hands is getting more quicker, and so you could just see a young player that's developing over time, like quickly.
How about the other new additions to the edge room?
Oh yeah, we got the young fellas, Diggs. We got Fidel. We got the young fellas. We trying to get them right. They've been flying around. They got the energy. They coming with it. We even got Chris Rump coming from the Chargers. So he's been around for I think 4 or 5 years as well. So he's flying around too. He got tremendous pass rush, and to throw them in the rotation, we're gonna have a solid defense.
How's Rump's familiarity with Brandon Staley been helpful to all of you?
Say that again?
How has Rump's familiarity with Brandon Staley been?
Has
it been helpful to all of you?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he know the defense the best out of everybody because he been doing it this whole time. So he been helping us as well, because it's something new. But at the end of the day, he's been playing fast and he's getting after it. He's having a good camp.
John talked about some lineman development in between some of the sessions today. What's been that benefit for y'all?
Say that again?
Some of the lineman development between both O-line and D-line in between some of the sessions today?
What you mean?
Like the development.
Like the period?
Yeah.
Developmental period?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That been good because, we got first team, second team, and, the younger guys, they don't really see certain reps and certain plays. So the developmental period is big at the end of practice for them to get after it and see those plays. So that's been helpful. And like I said, at the end of the day, we all come together and watch film together and make corrections.
Thank you, girls.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's a wrap.
What y'all got now? Oh, me. Oh, I thought y'all said one more.